Hello and welcome to Smith Bearing Training and Education Series, episode number 6. Today we're going to talk about crown and why we crown the outer races of our cam followers, our track rollers. What we do is why we crown is we always are trying to work the load to the center of the bearing. Remember, we've talked about this in the other episodes. These have needle bearings inside of them, okay? And needles don't like to be run out on the edges out here, okay? They like to work the load to the center, okay? So what a crown does also, it helps prevent, us running the load out here. It's going to try to work the load to the bearing, to the center of the bearing. And then it's also going to try to eliminate skidding that you see when you have full connectivity to the rolling surface. So over here you can see, now this is obviously very exaggerated, but it gives you an idea of what we're talking about, okay? As you can see, this is our rolling surface here, okay? And we have this load now right in the center of the bearing, okay? These needles are not gonna do any of this stuff that you might see if you have edge loading. Sometimes you'll see a term as we call Brinelling that can happen sometimes to needles when they're edge loaded. But then, sometimes you say, well, why would you ever need a straight? Well, that's a good answer. As you can see, the straight gives you full connectivity to the rail. Now in these instances, this is when maybe the load is so severe that they need every bit of that outer race to support that load. All right, so the straight is necessary in some applications, but sometimes that will create a skidding effect. And what I mean by a skidding effect is that the bearing is actually not acting like a bearing. It's not turning on the inner race. And that's something we definitely don't want, because then the internals of the bearing are not being used. The needle is not getting used. So you're just basically spinning on a shaft or whatever you're running it on. It's something we do right here at the factory. Very, very quick turnaround. We actually keep outer races in stock that are crowned. And then say we don't have any that are crowned right now, I can take an outer race, get crowned, re-black oxide it, and then you have a crowned outer. So I mean, we have the capabilities in-house to turn this around very, very fast. And Mr. or Mrs. Customer, this is going to improve your bearing life down the road. So please, next time you're doing an application in your engineering, take a look at crowning the outer races. Thank you so much for tuning in. Join us next time for more Smith Bearing information.